Just ahead on CTV News.
Today is the first day of early voting in Maryland. I'm Bryce Parker. We'll have more updates coming up on CTV News.
Plus, the fire department celebrates the county's home sprinkler law. And Simon Buggs has your Thursday sports page. All that and more coming up next on CTV News.
It's the first day of early voting in Maryland. Good evening. This is CTV News for October 24th. I'm Mariah Jalad.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us.
Over a year of anticipation has been building for the 2024 election season, and now it's finally here.
Yeah, today is the first day of early voting in Maryland, and voters are rushing to cast their ballots. CTV's Bryce Parker is in Bowie with more.
We're here outside of the Bowie Gymnasium, which is one of the 11 early voting sites here in Prince George's County. And as the election is less than 2 weeks away, more Marylanders are exercising their right to vote early this year.
I was out here today to bring my sister to do her civic duty. I've already done mine. I live in Europe. I've been there for over 40 years, and I already sent my absentee ballot in at the beginning of September.
Austin and her sister are part of the just shy of 1 million Marylanders who are projected to vote early this election season.
Early voting is easy. I mean, come out at your own time. You don't have to worry about what the weather is going to be on election day or whether something else comes up that conflicts with you being able to vote. Get your vote in early, and this is the way to do it. And the good news is that when the polls close on election night, your vote will be one of those that will be announced at that time. Senator Cardin, who has served in government for over 50 years, and the past 18 of those as a Maryland senator, is hoping to pass the torch to Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, who is in Bowie meeting with voters.
Well, we're still working to reach every voter. I started this morning at the Metro. And greeting commuters as they were heading into work, encouraging them to come out to vote, and to also just talk about the fact that this is about the future, that we have a real opportunity to decide for our children the type of state and the type of country we're going to build for them, with economic opportunity and reproductive freedom and working against gun violence. So it's an exciting time.
Experts believe early voter turnout could be tied to the plethora of issues that are on the ballot this season. And just by the look of the first morning of early voting, voters are eager to have their ballot counted.
It was important for me because there's so much on the line. Having my European friends always ask me, well, America's so great. What's going on over there? They just don't understand the politics of our country. I said, but the thing is, every vote counts. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to vote, do my duty. And it's so nice to see everybody coming out. It's exciting.
The excitement is palpable. I can tell a real difference already in the turnout here at this polling place. We were here for the primary, and I've already also been over to the Sports and Learning Center, and it's been incredible, and people feel the moment. They are excited, and so am I.
Reporting from Bowie, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
Thank you, Bryce. And early voting in Maryland ends on October 31st. And the Prince George's County Board of Elections is pulling all the stops to ensure the election integrity, a key concern during this election. Whether you come to the polls in person or mail in your vote, voters can expect a secured environment. From having law enforcement present at voting locations to appointing and training election judges from all political divides throughout the county, Demetra Hutchinson, the Deputy Elections Administrator, says the board is embracing a multi-agency approach to ensure free, fair, and safe elections.
So we are going through many of the same procedures we always go through. We have a robust security apparatus in place for all elections, and this one is no different. We're working with Homeland Security, we're working with cybersecurity specialists to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to ensure that our elections are, of course, free and fair, and that they are secure.
Well, with the race for Maryland's open U.S. Senate seat heating up, reports show Angela Alsobrooks currently leading the pack. However, many may not know about Libertarian candidate Mike Scott, who is also in the running alongside Republican candidate Larry Hogan. I sat down with Scott for a one-on-one interview to learn more about his campaign and his vision for Maryland. Mike Scott is an Air Force veteran running for Maryland's open U.S. Senate seat against Democratic candidate Angela Alsobrooks and former governor and Republican candidate Larry Hogan. Mr. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. We primarily know you for some of your service to this country, but we don't know much about you as far as your political experience. In comparison to your opponents, Alsobrooks and Hogan, what actually inspired you to run for this open U.S. Senate seat?
I don't have political experience, but as far as federal experience, I'm more experienced than they are.
Scott, originally from the south side of Chicago, moved to Maryland in 2001 and is now a resident of Prince George's County.
I looked at the Libertarian Party and realized that it's not really a political party. It's a bunch of crazy folks who all get together and all we say is, my goodness, you should be able to do what you want and not have the government tell you.
Scott stated that one of his top priorities if elected would be to pass legislation on term limits and campaign finance reform.
My priorities: healthcare, education, economy, environment, and equality. Those are my platforms. Those are what I would like to run on and try and help fix.
Let's go to question one. When asked about question one on the ballot and his stance on abortion, Scott didn't give a direct answer. Instead, he emphasized that he believes parents and healthcare providers should make that decision.
If you really want it put in the Constitution, and I do not, because again, we are a beacon of hope for reproductive freedom in the nation, it shouldn't be in the Constitution, especially with language that can be misconstrued.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the campaign. On October 10th, you were left out of the debate because it appeared that you did not meet the specific criteria that the debate organizers asked for.
It is so commonplace for third-party nominees to not be heard that we don't even give it a fight and we aren't enraged by it.
So we talked about if you do get in, if you do not win the race, what happens next for you?
I really don't know. I'm really worried about the trajectory our nation is on. I can stop it, and I'm willing to. I just want people to let me.
And we reached out to Angela Alsobrooks and Larry Hogan's camp for a one-on-one interview as well, but have not heard back yet.
Prince George's police say a man who had been in a fight boarded a county school bus Wednesday while students were inside. Police say someone called 911 to report the incident, but when police found the school bus, the man was no longer on board. The investigation reveals that the bus driver picked up the man, took him into the district, and then drove back into Prince George's. Police say the man got into a dispute with another person just before getting on the bus. Prince George's police are working to locate the man.
Well, meanwhile, Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown joined 23 other attorneys general in a coalition calling on the Ninth Circuit Court to allow emergency abortion care in Idaho. The coalition urges the circuit court to uphold a lower court's ruling blocking Idaho's restrictive abortion ban. Now, the ban does not include any exceptions for emergency care. And the coalition says the ban could lead to health care providers leaving the state, causing a decline in patient care and irreversible injuries. This could also increase pressure on the medical system in neighboring states as patients seek services.
Well, a tragic head-on collision in Upper Marlboro claims the life of a Springdale woman. Police are investigating the crash that occurred yesterday evening, killing 57-year-old Monica Wilson. Officers responded to the 500 block of Largo Center Drive just after 5 p.m. for a crash involving two vehicles. Wilson was rushed to the hospital but later died from her injuries. Investigators believe the second driver crossed into Wilson's lane. Witnesses say two passengers from the second vehicle fled the scene. Anyone with information is urged to contact police at 1-866-411-TIPS.
And Prince George's County Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Landover on Tuesday just after 9:25 a.m. Police responded to the 7400 block of Landover Road for a report of a shooting. That's where they found 18-year-old Kashawn Pollard shot and killed inside a car. Now, detectives do not believe the shooting was random, but a $25,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest and indictment. And police are urging anyone with the information on that case to contact the homicide unit at 301-516-2512. Meanwhile, Prince George's police arrest a man in connection to a fatal shooting that happened last month. The suspect is 33-year-old Frederick Stevenson. Police were called to the 5100 block of Indian Head Highway back on September 27th. But when officers arrived, they found 30-year-old Daryl McCall suffering from gunshot wounds in a parking lot. McCall was pronounced dead on the scene. Another man was also shot in the incident. Investigation reveals that Stevenson shot the victims during an argument.
Well, more than 30 years ago, Prince George's County became the first county in the nation to require sprinklers to be installed in every residential building. Since the residential sprinkler ordinance passed in 1992, there have been 0 fire deaths in county homes with properly working sprinklers. Today, the Prince George's Fire Department honored the leaders behind the life-saving bill, including former Governor and County Executive Paris Glendening and retired Fire Chief M.H. Jim Estep.
How often do you pass legislation and end up realizing that hundreds of lives have been saved as a result of your work?
Prince George's County runs about 150,000 calls a year. A lot of those calls are residential homes that are on fire. There are apartment complexes that are on fire. And when we go to a fire that has a sprinkler and it activates, again, it helps us so that, again, we're not going into a situation where we're putting our firefighters at risk and the residents are also saved.
But most importantly, it was the first countywide mandated residential sprinkler ordinance in the nation, and it became the model for the nation. I was very active in the National Association of Counties. I was chair of the National Association of County Executives at this time, and I got to tell you, counties tend to follow one another, and all of a sudden, here was a model.
The state of Maryland did not begin requiring new homes to have fire sprinklers installed by law until 2011. You're watching CTV News. I'm Mariah Jalad.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Coming up, do you have any old laptops, furniture, or appliances in your home? Well, if you do, you might be able to help young teens and young adults in the fight against domestic violence.
Find out how after the break.
Hello. I'm State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy. My office initiated the Prince George's County Collaborative to End Family Violence.
Hello. I'm Prince George's County Sheriff John Carr, and I'm here as a partner with the Prince George's County Collaborative.
Everyone is united in ending family violence, but we need you to ask for help.
One victim is one victim too many.
Hashtag say help.
Hashtag say help.
Visit www.sayhelppgc.org.
Listen up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me? Yeah!
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Welcome back. Pepco is offering new assistance to help customers pay their bills. And through the new Assistance Finder tool, customers can find programs like the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It's on a first-come, first-served basis, with Marylanders receiving up to $750. And Marylanders who qualify and enroll in assistance programs such as SNAP automatically qualify. But to access the tool, you can go to pepco.com/assistance finder.
Well, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and violence between teenagers and young adults is often overlooked. This Sunday, Room of Rage is partnering with the Solid Foundation Incorporated to provide a safe and supportive environment solution to help young adults explore healthy ways to manage emotions and stress. The event will feature a variety of activities, including rage room sessions, axe throwing, a game room, and a paint room.
It's an opportunity for people to be able to let off some steam, frustration in a safe environment with no judgment. So a lot of times people get angry. That's a human emotion, especially around domestic violence. This Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we was really focusing on teenagers and young adults. Because a lot of times people get mad, but you can't go out there and strangle somebody. You can't go out there and choke somebody out. You can't go out there and bust the windows out of somebody's car. So we're going to put those individuals in a space where they can do those things, and then we're going to talk about it later.
Again, that event is this Sunday. The Room of Rage is accepting donations. You can drop off unwanted and breakable items like glasses, computers, and other household appliances. For more information, visit roomofrage.com.
And Maryland Comptroller Brooke Learman hosted one of 3 roundtable sessions today about direct filing with the IRS for the 2025 tax season. Maryland is one of 24 states that will offer direct file in 2025, and it's estimated that 870,000 Marylanders will be eligible to file state and federal taxes this way. The next season will be held on November 6th in Baltimore.
Meantime, the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Corrections will meet with Maryland legislators tomorrow regarding employee safety. The meeting is in light of the continued uneasy feeling of DPSCS employees after Davis Martinez, a parole and probation agent, was murdered during a home visit in May. Since Martinez's murder, home visits for agents have come to a halt. And according to employees, low staffing agency-wide was a factor for violence against employees. Martinez's murder trial is set to be held in Montgomery County next month. And still to come on CTV News, a recently closed store is already making a comeback.
Find out how they plan to make a return and who's helping them after the break.
PTSD isn't something that is just going to go away on its own.
Treatment works. It helps.
There's no shame in treatment.
Just do it. Your world will be so different afterwards.
It's a warrior sickness. It's not a coward sickness.
Never too late.
I guarantee you it'll help you.
It will change your life.
It turned my life around.
You can find peace.
I never thought I could feel this good.
Walk through those doors, take the step.
Go get help. It's the best and bravest thing you could ever do.
Treatment works.
Hi, I'm Chuck Hagel, former Secretary of Defense and Vietnam veteran. With wars around the world and divisions here at home, the world sometimes seems like a hopeless place. But this is not the first time for our country. Differences over the Vietnam War nearly tore our country apart. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial here in Washington, D.C. helped our country heal and come back together. More than 58,000 American service members died serving in Vietnam, and their names are inscribed on the memorial. We must never forget those who gave their lives for our country. Remember their sacrifice. Learn how our country came together after this divisive time in our history. Learn more at vvmf.org. Thank you.
While the Maryland Prescription Drug Affordability Board is pushing for more authority to cap drug costs, leaders of the General Assembly approved a new plan by the board, which would allow them to set upper payment limits for high-cost prescriptions purchased by state and local governments. Maryland is the first state in the nation to approve a plan to make prescription drugs more affordable for its citizens. Legislation will be introduced in the 2025 General Assembly session to make the plan law.
Well, the mother of an 11th grader killed in 2022 filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Montgomery County Public Schools, the County Board of Education, and the county itself, saying the school system failed to protect her son from bullying. Alexis Jones McDaniel, mother of Jalen Jones, brought 9 counts against the defendants, including wrongful death, negligence, and violations of federal and state civil rights. Now, the complaint says her son had PTSD, ADHD, and severe anxiety. Jones was beat to death by his classmates, one of whom was charged with murder but found not guilty in 2023.
In other news, bear hunting season kicked off in western Maryland this week with almost 1,000 hunters licensed to participate. The hunting range is limited to Garrett, Allegheny, and Frederick counties. Bear sightings have been reported as far as Montgomery, Howard, Carroll, and Baltimore counties. According to Maryland's Department of Natural Resources, restrictions include 1 bear per hunter and limitations on the use of bait, hunting dogs, and electronic call devices. Hunters are supposed to bring the bears to checking stations where scientists can better understand the animals.
Well, TSA gets a big honor for its technology that enhances the screening process at airport security checkpoints. The agency was recently named the Innovator of the Year in Forbes Travel Guide's inaugural Verified Air Travel Awards. The award honors TSA for implementing its second generation credential authentication technology, or CAT2 scanners at airports. The technology, which is used at BWI Airport, is able to match the face of the traveler with their ID.
Valid ID or if it's a fraudulent ID. It can tell if you actually are ticketed to fly that day or if not. Maybe you've come a day early, maybe you've come a day late. And so it is an enhancement of security because, again, it is making sure that we know who is boarding the planes. We want to make sure that you are who you say you are.
And TSA officials say the scanners have a 99.7% accuracy rate.
And Bed Bath & Beyond is set to return to a brick and mortar. Its parent company, Beyond Inc., recently entered a partnership with home decor retailer Kirkland's. Bed Bath & Beyond filed for bankruptcy in April of 2023 before relaunching as an online-only retailer. Beyond Inc. plans to leverage Kirkland's store operation expertise and existing brick and mortar footprint. In addition to Bed Bath & Beyond, Beyond Inc. also owns the Zulily and Overstock brands. And Simon Buggs is finally back with our Thursday sports page.
That's right. Simon, what do you have for us today?
That's right, guys. It's great to be back. And today I have a great interview lined up as well as some interesting news from the world of college hoops. Stay right there, sports fans, because coming right up, part 2 of my sit-down interview with coaching icon Lou Jenkins, and a player from the Terps men's basketball team gives his thoughts on what he can bring to the team this coming season. Don't move. We'll be right back.
I'll never forget the day I nearly died. I was a young journalist with a great career, starting a family. The only way we found out I had any kind of heart issue was when I went into sudden death. My coworkers sprung into action. They've recently been trained in life-saving CPR protocols developed by the American Heart Association. They're the ones that kept me alive until the medics came. They did many tests on me in the hospital after my cardiac arrest and created a treatment plan, all with research from the American Heart Association. I think unless you are a heart disease patient, you may not know how much work the American Heart Association does behind the scenes to save your life. Since my cardiac arrest, I've had 2 more children. I've watched all 3 of my children grow into adulthood. I'm gonna cry now. Graduate from college, my daughter got married. I have grandchildren, and I'm still here.
Learn more about the American Heart Association's work at helpheart.org.
Hey there, sports fan. It's finally time for your Thursday sports page. Now former head coach Lou Jenkins is a living legend. The Charles County native had major success at both the high school and college level. And I had the honor of sitting down with Jenkins and talking to him about his time as a college coach. Lou Jenkins' coaching career was nothing short of amazing. The 91-year-old made a name for himself coaching wrestling and baseball at Surrattsville High School, where he racked up wins and won multiple championships in both sports. But after 25 years of coaching for the Hornets, Jenkins decided to move on to the college level, coaching baseball at St. Mary's College of Maryland. And he told me about the challenges during his time with the Seahawks.
To get into St. Mary's College, St. Mary's College of Maryland, they called it, you had to have good SATs, so you didn't get in. So some parents would be upset with me. I would tell them, I can't take your son. And why can't I take, why won't you take my son? I said, his SATs are not qualified. If you go across the road here, they will reject him, which they did many times. I lost a lot of guys to different colleges because their SATs were bad.
But that didn't stop Jenkins from producing, as he retired from coaching at St. Mary's as the program's all-time winningest coach with over 300 wins and had 3 consecutive 20-win seasons during his 22 years at the helm of the team. And just like during his tenure at Sarasville High, Jenkins helped his players have some success at the next level.
The ones that I got did very well. And one of them, named Chris Siegel, is a major league umpire today and has been there for about 10 years. He caught for me and played the outfield and hit pretty good. He worked in A, AA, AAA, and became a major league umpire. And occasionally a friend of mine will call me and say, one of your buddies is on TV tonight.
Jenkins also shared with me that in order for him to continue to have success at the collegiate level, he had to start from the beginning.
They didn't know, so I did basic fundamentals with them too, and I started winning more and more games with that.
Moving on to college hoops, Terps fans, I know you can't wait for the start of basketball season. The men's team will be coming into 2025 with some new talent on the roster. And one player that will be looking to help Maryland bounce back is transfer guard Selton Miguel. I caught up with Miguel and he told me what he brings this season to this Terps squad.
I'll bring leadership, being the oldest on the team and graduate student, bring leadership, I bring scoring, I bring play for each other, I bring, just make sure trying to be the best teammate I can be, just bring all the experience. I've been in college for 5 years now, it's my 5th year, being in the Big 12, I won the championship last year, so I've been a good side and a bad side, you know what I mean? So I got good experience. So just trying to bring that experience here, and we got young guys, we got old guys, so I feel like we got a good balanced team to know what we want.
Miguel and the rest of the team will match up against Manhattan to begin the season on November 4th. And sticking with basketball, be sure to tune in tonight, Wizards fans, for the team's season opener. Washington will have a tough matchup ahead as they'll be hosting the defending champion Boston Celtics. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And that wraps up your Thursday sports page.
All right, thanks, Simon. Any chance the Wizards can take down the Celtics tonight?
They don't have much of a chance, guys. I mean, this team is loaded. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Al Horford. This team is too talented. I don't think the Wizards can match up. Sorry to say it, but I think the Wizards are going to fall tonight in their season opener, guys.
Well, maybe we'll see what they've got lined up for the season. They might not take the dub, as you say, but maybe we'll have a good showing. We'll see. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight we'll have some clear skies. Tomorrow we kick the weekend off with a high of 67 and low of 53.
Saturday we have another nice day on the way. It's going to be 69 degrees and sunny. Sunday will still be sunny, but we only reach a high of 61.
And for our community calendar, tomorrow afternoon the city of Bowie is hosting a food truck frenzy movie night. Come down to Allen Pond Park for a variety of dining options, music, games, and a screening of The Mighty Ducks.
This event takes place from 4 to 10 p.m. at the Bowie Ice Arena, but for more information, contact 301-262-6200.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Us. It's what this country is made of. A helping hand, a shoulder to lean on. Different voices.
Hello.
One sacred bond. But right now, that bond is fraying. Where do we find common ground? How do we get back to us? The why fills the gaps and bridges our divides. Now, more than ever, the why needs your support. Because where there's a why, there's an us. For a better us, support your local why today.